Dick Zimmer makes a hip ad. Carla Katz loses round one in court. New rules and a new law change the affordable housing game. And a sudden outbreak of political correctness seems to grip us all. Welcome to Reporters Roundtable. I'm Michael Aaron. With us this week, for Politically Incorrect and Proud of It. Charles Stile of the Bergen Record. Nick Acocella of PolitiFacts, the weekly political newsletter. Jonathan Tamari of the Philadelphia Inquirer. And Kevin McCardle of Millennium Radio News. About a week ago, the Zimmer campaign put this ad up on the internet.
I'm trying to do whatever we can to recognize that there are sides in this struggle, that it's watching a game, but this is more like the Roman Colosseum. You're seeing a terrible penalty on those who lose out, and those are the American families. It's very simple.
Sometimes I grow so tired. But I know I've got one thing I got to do. Ramble on. Now the time is now. Sing my song. I'm going round the world. I gotta find my girl on my way. I've been this way 10 years to the day. I think I got the ball. I gotta keep searching for my baby.
You can be sure that this battle isn't over.
I'm Dick Zimmer, and I approve this message.
Led Zimmerlin, I called it, the ad. And that album cover, for those of us old enough to remember, that was the Led Zeppelin album cover.
Yeah.
First Led Zeppelin or second, one of the two. Well, what do you think of this?
I think it's extraordinarily good. I mean, they actually got a picture of Dick Zimmer smiling and looking 10 years younger than he is, and making Frank Lautenberg look 10 years older than he is. Excellent. It's absolutely excellent.
I think it's very subtle. Not sure I picked up on that. I think that is a really effective. I like that spot a lot, and you know, could have been worse. Could have used the Rolling Stones. What a drag it is getting old. I mean, a little bit less than
I think you gave them their next one.
Next.
What do you think?
Well, first of all, Dick Zimmer and hip, to me, is an oxymoron.
Well, we're going to hear more on that subject in a minute, but go ahead.
But I think that is the first time I've actually enjoyed reading the argument that New Jersey is dead last in its return of tax dollars from Washington. That is one of the most dry, it's important policy stories that gets trotted out every election season, but that's the first time I actually enjoyed it. Now it's a question of whether it's ever going to make it into a TV spot.
It's not a TV spot. It was simply on the internet. What did you think of it?
I thought it was entertaining, as everybody else did. I thought it was interesting that he used the word change, which has been so associated with Barack Obama this year. Now this is a Republican kind of turning the tables a little bit that way.
The ad, by the way, was on YouTube until Tuesday, when Warner Brothers filed a copyright challenge, and it came off of YouTube, but it's on the Zimmer website, and yeah, that's right. You didn't know that?
No.
Charlie brings up the substance of the ad, which, aside from the fact that Lautenberg is a rambling speaker, raises this age-old issue about how much money we get back from Washington. It was an issue when he first ran, as the ad points out, back in '82. It's still an issue. It's kind of a phony issue, I think, because we are such a high-income state. Naturally, our income taxes are going to go down to Washington and come back in a disproportionate amount relative to other states.
John
Shure
made that argument from John Shure of New Jersey policy perspective, made that argument in one of the news stories I saw, and it's, you know, I guess it's a valid argument. We make more money, and we don't have, you know, what New Mexico has, Indian reservations, a lot more poverty. You know, it's understandable.
You go to a state, some Republican states that have a lot of low income. In the South, they have they're heavy entitlement states. Now we have our share of seniors and low income residents, but those states, their averages are not. They're not sending much back to Washington.
I wonder where we'd rank if we sent Dick Zimmer to the U.S. Senate.
Right about where we are now.
Right about where we are now. All right. Charlie made a comment about Zimmer not necessarily being hip. You read my mind, Charlie. Let's go to the next tape. That's a very hip ad. Are you a hip dude?
No, I'm not a hip dude, but I think it was a good ad. I remember the song, and I followed Led Zeppelin. It wasn't my favorite group in the '60s, but I think the message of the song, "Ramble On," made a point.
Wonder who his favorite group in the '60s was. The Kingston Trio, maybe?